What's up, everybody? This is DJ Lyon Head, and this is the Support Cha Boi Podcast. Let's have a really good guest here today. What can I tell you about him? He's a MMA fighter. He has appeared on Street Beefs. Yep. He also is a Muay Thai practitioner. And he is rising, I'm pretty sure, in the street beefs world. He is the one, the only Sawsall. What's up, man? How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. How about you?
I'm pretty good. I'm glad that we were able to get you on here. I mean, I like to learn some new things about new fighters that I haven't heard of, or I'm gonna be starting to hear very soon. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess one of the biggest questions I have for you is, how did you get this name?
How did I get the name?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know. So I was thinking for a while about the name. I made the decision to do it before I even had a name that I could think of. So I just started looking things up with the letter Z, because that's my name. And I came across the tool, Sawsall, and then I looked more into the Sawsall, and it's a reciprocating saw. So my mindset behind it was like, reciprocating these punches, you know what I mean? So I used it, and it stuck. So.
Yeah, it's good. It's original, especially for a fighter.
Yeah.
You know, I like that, because some people want to, like, I remember back in the day, I'm a little older than you, so I remember back in the day, a lot of boxers would use the name the Body Snatcher. There was like 7 of them.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I did that went into the thought process, is I wanted something that nobody else had. So I did have a few that I was going to use before this, and then I looked at Google and they were already taken. I didn't want to be that guy that had the same nickname as 10 other fighters.
Yeah. They have a hard time finding you online. You got to scroll through.
If you look up the amount of people with the nickname Headman that are MMA fighters, it's insane.
Oh, wow. So I guess another question I'm going to ask you is, how long have you been fighting? Let's start with Muay Thai, how long you've been fighting in, and then let's go how long you've been training in MMA.
So Muay Thai I've been doing for not long, actually, 3 months, I'd say, 3 or 4 months. Wrestled in high school, so I think that's kind of where I got where I decided that I was going to do MMA instead of just boxing, because I've got a wrestling background. But originally I didn't even want to do MMA. I did just want to do boxing, and then I realized that my stand-up is decent, and I don't think I could really excel in the boxing world, so I just decided to do MMA, and it's working out. I love it. So.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you an awkward question, but I've always wanted to know this answer. When you're rolling around, whether it's in training or in a real fight in MMA, how hard is it to keep a hold of the neck when the guy you're choking out shoots out a silent but deadly fart?
Honestly, that doesn't happen too often.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, when
you don't choke somebody to the fart?
When I did wrestling in high school, maybe a little bit, but yeah, you kind of just like both laugh and stop.
What if that happened in street beefs? Do you think you can still hold that neck?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not letting go. If it's competition, I'm not letting go.
Yeah, you don't care how bad it stinks.
Yeah, absolutely not. There's no way. So fun fact, I actually got COVID, and it made my smell actually basically disappear for 3 years. So I just got it back, and I got it back like 6 months ago, and it's there, but I can't smell things strongly. So it wouldn't affect me.
That's actually, in a fight, that's actually a benefit.
It is a benefit, and I'm also an EMT, so that's also a benefit when people throw up.
Oh, wow. So you also did wrestling, right?
Yeah, I did wrestling in high school.
Okay, I had a friend who had wrestling in high school. He used to always come to the wrestling matches and eat a giant onion.
Onion? Oh.
Yes. And then that way, if he gets you in the hole, he just starts breathing heavy. And
Yeah,
I
I
still
did hear
breathe
that there
in
were people that like really gross stuff before their matches and breathe in people's face. Yeah, I think that's a pretty common thing in wrestling in high school. Yeah, or they would not put deodorant on just to purposely like stain.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. So, I've been really curious about Muay Thai because, I wouldn't say I'm a fighter. I definitely wouldn't say that. When I was younger, I would say my friend said I was, he called me a cafeteria martial artist, meaning I was trying a whole bunch of different things.
Okay.
What's hilarious about what I used to do is, because at the time when I was broke, but I still wanted to learn martial arts, so I started with Kung Fu. You know how they give you that 2 weeks free?
Yeah.
Then I come with the pamphlet and everything. As soon as they come with that pamphlet, I'm out of there. So then I went to boxing, did the same thing, and then 2 weeks worth of boxing. Same thing with the taekwondo. I wanted to get into Muay Thai, but they didn't have a 2 week free kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
what's the hardest thing to do or to learn in Muay Thai for you?
A lot of it really is. It just depends. So I do a different type of Muay Thai. The Muay Thai that I do is Bang Muay Thai. So it was designed by Dwayne Ludwig. I don't know if you know who that is, but he.
The name is familiar.
There's also Bass Rutten.
Yes, I know who that is.
So they basically kind of like designed it, and it's more MMA focused toward, like, it's Muay Thai with an MMA behind it. So it actually a lot easier for me because of the wrestling. So it has a lot of level changes, all that good kind of stuff. But really for me, it's kicks. Like the hardest part for me was definitely getting the kicks. And there's so many different combos that you can throw, and yeah, combos. I mean, you definitely gotta have a good memory.
Yeah, I always felt that the kick to the shins was tough.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you, my street beast fight that I had this past weekend on Saturday, that was the first thing that my opponent did, kick me right in the shin. And I've never been kicked in the shin before without shin guards on, and it hurt. It hurt.
I bet it did.
Yeah, so he kicked me, then he kicked me in the body. I caught his leg, and that's when I took it to the ground. I'd had enough with the standing up at that point. Yeah.
I didn't even ask. Did you win that fight or no?
What'd you say?
I'm sorry. Did you win that fight?
Oh yeah, I won. First.
One street piece. Okay, I'd like to hear that. So how did that go? Like, what was your mind frame when you first got lined up? You know, you kind of just stretching out before you get in there.
Yeah.
What was your mind frame when you started?
When I first got there, I was kind of nervous because you get there and it's just, there's just a bunch of people there, and then they do matchmaking. So, well, first you sign waivers. You got to sign all the waivers and all that stuff. Yeah. You sign the waivers, then they do matchmaking. So you go in the middle, and I was like 10 minutes late to the first round of matchmaking, so I didn't get a fight. And then so I'm nervous. I'm like wondering if I'm going to get a fight or if I just drove 2 hours for nothing. And then I get in for the second round of matchmaking, and I do get a fight, but they didn't have anybody with no experience. So I was worried about leading up to the event was, who am I going to fight? Am I going to get matched up evenly? So the guy that I ended up fighting, 717 Static, respect to him, he's a warrior. But yeah, so he's had 10 fights in Street Beefs.
Man.
So they looked over at me and they were like, "You want to do it?" I was like, "Yeah, I didn't drive here 2 hours to, drive back home without fighting." So yeah, I did it.
Well, that's good.
It worked.
So what is the process behind it? So you just go there, you sign the waiver, and then you just wait for them to call you?
Yeah, pretty much. So once you do the matchmaking, you and your opponent go up to the matchmaker, and basically she puts you on the list. And so they do boxing and MMA and kickboxing. So I think at this one, really all they had was boxing and MMA. So they do like one boxing match, one MMA match, one box. So they just go back and forth. I was like super, like, I feel like parts of it were organized. Overall, it was a pretty well organized event. I didn't hear them call runner-up, so they said, Sawsall versus 717, and I was like, shit, it's time for me to. I was like, so I basically just ran into the octagon. It's like, damn.
Okay.
But
how many rounds did you go?
I won in the first round, but there's 3.
Ooh, okay. First round winner. Okay. I was gonna ask you about how'd you do in the second round and third round, but you're first round winner, so I need to ask you that.
I wanted to test my cardio, so that kind of sucked, but
yeah.
Other than that, I'm not complaining.
Are you on the East Coast or the West Coast?
East Coast, yeah. So in Virginia is where it's at.
Okay.
And so it was about like a 2-hour drive, I'd say.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I know Death Sensei he drive in like 6 hours, so I'm not.
Yeah, he did it from North Carolina.
Yeah, which is wild. That blows my mind.
Yeah. So, what was that question I had? Let me go ahead and get it for you.
I think it was how you actually sign up.
What's up?
I think you asked.
Yeah, how do you sign up? I mean, do you? I know you said there was a waiver, but
yeah. So when you get waivers, but the actual process. So they have. They got a website, they got a Facebook page, they got an Instagram page. So I'm pretty sure the same. I believe it's a woman that does the signups. She does the signups on the Instagram, everything. I just signed up on Facebook. So there's a Facebook Street Beef signups group.
Yeah.
And I just joined the group and then I sent her my information and I was signed up. But honestly, I don't think that it's not like you get there and they check to see if you were signed up or not. I don't think they care. I feel like if you show up, you can get a fight. I think they want you to sign up first just so they can get an idea of how many people are going to come.
Yeah.
But if you show up, you can get a fight.
That's dope. So, what's your favorite submission when you're on the ground? Your favorite one you feel that if I get you in this, you're out of luck, buddy.
Yeah, if I get your back, I'm gonna definitely rear naked. I'm okay with the armbar. Definitely rear naked. I'm not really too
shows all the way, huh?
Because I don't do much Ju-Jitsu. So.
Okay. No leg locks, things of that nature.
No, not really. Really, when I'm on the ground, I just rely on my wrestling.
Yeah.
Not really. I'm not really into Jiu-Jitsu. I'm gonna have to start training Jiu-Jitsu a lot more if I want to move up, which that's definitely the plan. So, but as of now, I don't know too much Jiu-Jitsu.
That's okay. I mean, wrestlers are tough.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, wrestling is definitely, in my opinion, is the best foundation for an MMA fighter. I think. If you look at Khabib, George St. Pierre, Matt Hughes, if you look at a lot of the biggest names in UFC, they all have a wrestling background. So.
Yep, that is so true. Okay, so do you think at this time, at where your career is right now, you would accept going on the Ultimate Fighter for next year?
Hell no. Hell.
Not yet, huh?
No, that'd be like chance of a lifetime, but no, I definitely would not accept that. 100%.
Yeah. I agree.
The main reason I'm doing Street Beefs is so that way I can prepare better for an actual amateur fight, because that's the goal right now, is getting to an amateur fight.
And I like that about Street Beefs, is because you're gonna fight somebody and you don't know exactly, you have no time to train for that fighter. But in the UFC, you kind of do have okay, who am I fighting? Oh, Dan says you're fighting this guy. Then you go read up what is he doing. You know what I mean? You can game plan. But with Street Beefs, you kind of train yourself that it don't matter who you're fighting, you're gonna be ready.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. So I basically I had set July 6th as the date that I was going to go. So I put myself through a 3-month hardcore or train every day, diet, all that. So I was ready. I was ready. I didn't care who I was going to fight. I was ready.
So what is your diet for the training?
So so I'm gonna say right now, before I started Muay Thai, I was like fast food like all the time, like every day, like because I'm an EMT, so I'm on an ambulance all the time. So it's so easy and convenient just to go and get fast food, you know.
Oh yeah, I work graveyards. I feel the same way.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, so once I started taking it seriously, I definitely switched off fast food. I guess my go-to meal prep would be like just basic like ground beef and vegetables. Like I get like bags of like frozen vegetables, and then I'll make ground beef and I'll just prep it Sunday night and I'll prep it for the week.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, because you're EMT, you can handle injuries pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
So, did you bring your trainer, the one you had in the video that I put up? Do you have in there with you for the fight, or you just went alone?
That's my cousin, Nathan.
Okay.
I train with him a lot when I have free time when I'm not training at my gym. Yeah, he was there. He was there.
Okay. So he was going to be the guy you talk to in the middle of the rounds if you want to sit round two.
Yeah. I had my I also brought my training partner at the gym I go to. He was there also. So.
Nice.
Yeah, but I told him before the fight. I said, don't worry, I won't need you guys because this isn't going past the first round.
Yeah. Who would be if you were going to go to another street beef fight? Who would be what kind of fighter would be the worst one to end up with?
The worst one to end up with would be definitely somebody that is experienced BJJ for sure.
Okay. Because who would be the easiest one to go through?
Yeah, if I feel like they don't have a ground game, I'm just going to take it to the ground right away.
Yeah. So if you go there with another guy who's a wrestler, would you prefer a wrestler instead of going for a guy who's a boxer?
No, I'd rather fight a boxer.
Yeah, dude, you get that back, it's over.
Yeah, because I mean, boxers. That's the biggest thing with boxers. They don't really know how to fight on the ground.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah.
Why you see all these like UFC fighters going to try boxing, but you never see any boxers going to try MMA. Like nobody. There's no boxers going over into UFC.
Why is that? What's your opinion? Why that doesn't happen? The boxers, I'm sure they can really use it because when you're a boxer and say you lose a couple fights or you still try to keep it going, it would make sense. You can make more money or keep your fight life going by going to MMA. Why didn't they do it? What's your opinion?
Honestly, right now it's because boxers are getting paid so much more money. Because a lot of the money from boxing is coming from the Saudi Arabia, I believe, is a big one right now. So they got loads of money. But yeah, I mean, like if you look at just recently, Francis Ngannou went over to boxing and he made $30 million for 2 fights.
I didn't know that.
You're lucky to make $1 million in a UFC fight. So I think it's a money thing. I think they don't want to get embarrassed because I don't know. I don't know one boxer that could come into the UFC right now and beat a UFC fighter. I just don't think they don't have. I mean, they don't have any ground game. They don't know anything about kicks. Boxers have different stances than MMA fighters. It's huge. It's a big difference. Whereas UFC fighters, you have to have a ground game and you have to have stand-up game. So it's definitely easier to go from being a UFC fighter and converting to boxing, or MMA fighters converting to boxing, whereas boxing to MMA would be a lot more difficult.
Gotcha. So how do you feel about Jake Paul going into the UFC, even though he's had a little bit of wrestling in high school, but the majority his training is boxing? How do you think that's going to pan out?
If Jake Paul went into did an MMA fight,
right?
It honestly just depends who he fights. He's not going to beat anybody in the top 20. I'm sure.
Nah, yeah, it's not on slow.
In an amateur fight, but on the pro level, no, I just don't think. I just don't think it's realistic to jump straight to the pros, like how MMA fighters can be a pro MMA fighter and jump right to the pros in boxing. It just doesn't like that when it comes into MMA.
Yeah. How long does it take if you've ever been training and get kicked in the ball?
It depends how bad it is. Sometimes you get them late onset ones, and it'll happen, and then you'll keep fighting, and then you'll feel it, and it's like, ooh. Those ones hurt worse. If you feel it right away, if you feel it like right away, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I seen one guy in a fight do that where he got kicked twice in the same round, and the very next round, the whole fight he was throwing head kicks, and the guy was just blocking him. But after those 2 nutsack kicks, he was kicking all to the shins. He couldn't get his leg up anymore. Yeah, it was coming real slow.
Yeah, at Street Beefs this past Saturday, the first fight, like literally the first fight, first round, guy got kneed in the nuts, and he was on the ground. Oh. Yeah, he was on the ground, like rolling around for like 5 minutes.
Let me ask you another question. This is going to be a good one here, and I like I don't want to be blamed for starting something, but I'm just so curious. I gotta ask: if Death Sensei wanted to fight you next at Street Beefs, would you take the fight?
If he wanted to fight me?
If he wanted to.
Sure.
Yeah. That's great.
I'm not gonna call him out though. I mean, I'm a fan. I like
yeah.
I follow him on Instagram, but if he wanted to, yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah, that's great. I have all these questions I want to ask you here, man. I'm switching around all the stuff. What sport do you believe helps you the most, other than wrestling? What sport helps you the most in MMA training or in fighting?
Probably which sport besides? I'd probably say football. I'd say like in high school, one of the biggest things was like football and wrestling. Like if you, a lot of people that played football wrestled, and a lot of people that wrestled played football, just because of the takedown and the tackling aspect. It helped a lot. Okay.
Now I want you to do something for me. Let's give people the Sawsall tutorial on what you should do for the very first time. How did you have experience? The very first time you show up at Street Beefs.
What you should do?
What you should do. Like you should be like, oh man, I was thinking about just cracking a couple of beers. You know what I mean? Something coming to get into the fight. You know what I mean? Sometimes I spit my mouthpiece out. And just start banging. You know what I mean? What are the do's and don'ts when signing up or in fighting in Street Beefs after you had your experience?
Well, definitely don't bring alcohol because you'll get kicked out right away. One of their biggest things. No drugs, no drinking, and no guns.
Yeah.
Down, gloves up. That's their biggest thing. So honestly, what I would tell people is like, if you've made this a decision to do it, then don't be like nervous. Just go in there and just do it. I mean, you're either going to get knocked out, or you're going to knock somebody out, or you're going to win. I mean, at that point, you've already made your decision. You know what I mean? So just relax. Definitely warm up before your fight. I saw so many people that just didn't warm up at all and just went right into their fight.
Wow.
So definitely warm up. I don't care. Like stretch, practice your punches. Like I did both. Definitely warm up. Warming up's the biggest thing. Bring Vaseline. You want to bring Vaseline. A lot of people didn't bring Vaseline. It prevents cuts. Usually if Street Beef sees blood, they stop the fight and you lose. So
did you wear shoes or no shoes?
So recently, yeah, they've been letting people wear shoes in MMA fights because right now they're doing them on mats. So they recently moved locations from Winchester to Staunton. So now where they're doing it, they don't have a flat grass surface. So they're doing it on a gravel driveway. So they got a bunch of mats down, and it's not hard. Like the mats aren't hard or anything, but they are hot. When I fought this past weekend, it was like 95 degrees, and I had like mat socks on, like MMA socks that they grip and everything.
Yeah.
My feet were still burning through the mats. I
Damn.
was only standing for like 30 seconds. So yeah, I recommend definitely bringing like wrestling shoes. You don't want to fight. I don't think you want to do MMA in tennis shoes. Bring wrestling shoes or buy like wrestling socks or something. That if you're doing MMA, if you're doing boxing, wear whatever shoes you want.
All right, that's a good idea. So now, some people who are thinking about doing it now they have a better idea that you gave them that information. They're gonna love you for it, man.
Yeah. Fair.
Do you plan on going back to street beefs? Like either, if you are planning, when do you plan? Like next month or a couple of months? Into you catch up some time to train, or
Yeah,
what's your plan?
I think I definitely want to go back. I like doing it just to get the fighting. Like I want to keep getting the fighting experience because like I said, the goal is to do amateur. So I do want to keep getting the fighting experience instead of just training all the time and then going in to do my first amateur fight and not having any fighting experience. So I like that I'm getting the fighting experience as well. I'd say October. I think I'm going to go back to street beefs. I definitely want to train a little bit first. I don't want to just keep doing it every month. Somebody told me once, train more than you fight. So I don't want to take.
That's a good point.
Want to take my time with it. I see that comment down
Me
there.
too.
My brother
I was about to say something too. You agree with that one?
put the Vaseline on ice. Yeah, 100%. So that's my brother, Sebastian. I brought him also, and the Vaseline was melted by the time my fight came up.
Damn.
Yeah. So definitely put the Vaseline on ice if you're bringing Vaseline.
That's a great tip. I'm pretty sure people are going to come there and they're going to just be Vaseline. As soon as you go, it's going to pour out like water.
Yeah, definitely. Bring lots of water. Bring ice. They do sell water there, I believe. I'm pretty sure. I brought a lot of water, so I didn't need anything. Bring an umbrella. Shade.
Ooh,
There's not.
yeah.
So yeah, bring an umbrella. I recommend bringing an umbrella, or if you have like a tent, like a pop-up tent, bring like just one of the like overhead tents. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, this is kind of an obvious thing, but I should still ask. In the tutorial, would you say it is a must to wear a cup?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, so yeah, it's required. They ask you if you have a cup, like right before you fight. They look over at you. They say mouthpiece, cup. You show them your mouthpiece, and then you tap. I am 100% sure that there was at least like half the people there did not have cups.
Oh, that's risky.
Tapped. Yeah, it is risky, and I think because I don't know, I've never been kicked there with a cup on, so I'm not sure how bad it would hurt. I don't know if the guy that got kicked there or kneed there in the first fight of the night, if he had a cup on or not, I'm not sure. But the way that he was rolling on the ground, I would. My guess would be no.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely bring a cup.
How about have you seen or have you actually been through being knocked out before, and how do you feel if you did? How did you handle it? If you never have, how do you think you would handle it if you ever did get knocked out?
I've never been knocked out before. Man, I don't know. I mean, if you get knocked out, you don't really feel much. From what I've heard from people that have been knocked out, you don't really feel nothing, and you just wake up and you're wondering where you're at. I don't know. I think for me, obviously, you don't want to get knocked out.
Right.
YouTube. I mean, you're gonna go viral. But I mean, that's part of the sport. That's part of the sport. At risk. If you want to do it, you got to risk.
Yeah.
So, every time you get in a fight, you get risk. You're getting made viral. So.
Yeah. Whew. It's a tough business, I'll tell you that much. But I can see the excitement in it. You know what I mean? If I was, a young girl, I would probably give it a shot. Out of my age now. So you can't tell because of the mask, but there's some gray hairs under this thing.
Yeah, I think for me, like doing it is it's like therapeutic almost. I don't know, just everything about it. Training, washing my. I don't know, like I feel like I'm one of those people. I gotta have a goal. If I don't have a goal, I'm depressed. So I gotta have a goal in mind. I gotta have something that I'm working towards. Or I think
that's dope.
Yeah.
To have that kind of a goal, because you're right. If you have any kind of depression or any kind of situation that's just going on in your life, that goal kind of like gets you through it. You know what I mean? So that's a good point. Good point. What's the furthest you would travel to do a fight? Like, for example, you're in Virginia. Would you travel if someone challenged you in street beefs in Arizona?
Is that where the West Coast branch is? I'm not 100% sure. Is that?
I believe it's in either Arizona and Vegas.
Is it? I think they have one in Washington too.
Yeah.
Gig Harbor.
That one too.
It depends. It depends how big. Like, it depends how big it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, if I was in Death Sentence's place and I had 75,000 followers, yeah, I'd travel there. Right now, definitely not. It just depends.
Just a matter of time, man. Just a matter of time.
Depends on if it's going to be worth it or not. But yeah, I would do it. I think I wouldn't travel that far for like an amateur fight or anything though. Like if I'm going to travel that far for like anything that's going to go on my record, I want to get paid for it. So,
right.
I'd wait. A couple of the amateur programs or companies that I've been looking at are in Virginia. So you got like Cagezilla and Rocket Combat League and stuff like that, or Rocket Combat Sports, Rocket Combat League video game. What am I talking about?
So, have you ever had? Could you imagine if you had some, like, say for example, in your past, if you had like a hater, somebody just did not like you, he trained in MMA, and he was in Arizona, and he called you out. Would you go for that reason?
Yeah.
Just to shut him up.
Honestly, I was like one of those people in like school that stayed out of the drama, so I never really had like beef with anybody.
That's good.
But yeah, I mean, if that was the case, yeah, I probably would. Like if somebody like started talking shit and like called me out, then yeah, I probably would do.
Yeah. Man, this is great. How soon do you believe that you will go back to street beefs? Once you feel like you trained enough, when can we see you coming back? Like, say if they gave you an offer to do something in late August, would you take it, or say it's not enough time, need more time to train?
Probably not. I'm gonna wait till I'm gonna go to the October 5th event. Is what I'm planning on right now.
Gotcha. That's good.
So they run
I wish we could see your video. Cause, hey, when it comes out, man, send it to me.
I will. Yeah, I mean, I'm checking like every I swear I look like every hour. Like I'm impatient. I wish they posted them like all at the same time, but I understand like they're trying to get as many views as they can get for their YouTube page. So I get what they're doing.
Exactly. And speaking of they're trying to get views and things of that nature, I saw on your Instagram you have merch. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I just honestly I just made like Team Sawsall shirts. I've had a few people buy them so far, but yeah, I mean, I just like that. Like I made a couple of them for the people that came with me, and I just put like a Sawsall and then Team Sawsall. I just did something simple. It's not like nothing like. I'm not like trying to be flashy or anything. So, but yeah, I mean, buy one. Buy
one. Exactly. Yeah, that you guys, if you like Sawsall, when you see the Sawsall street beef and you see how he won our first round winner, you know, oh, that guy's gonna be dope. I'm telling you, you know, get the head start. Check him out on Instagram and grab one of them Sawsall shirts, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. One day I might have like 100,000 followers, and you're gonna, you know, I might be like the face of street beefs one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, oh, remember those early Sawsall shirts?
Yeah, you
got the original, bro.
Sawsall shirt.
Yeah, you imagine somebody actually getting the original, and now you got all these crazy, you know, Sawsall versions, but nobody has the original. But you can't get him now before he blows up.
Yeah. Speaking of the gifts, I think it's insane, like what Death Sentence is doing. I think, you know, it's wild. I feel like he's like the Conor McGregor of street beefs.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. It's like
he really believes, and he was telling me that, you know, when he was young, his mom just told him, no matter if he beat you or not, just never back down. And then show me fight. If you lose, sure they're going to respect you more than if you run. And he decided from there in, he's not running from nobody. He'll take that ass whooping. Doesn't care.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. No matter how many times he gets beat, he still comes back. He keeps coming back.
He's like a zombie with a freaking bulletproof helmet. Just always keeps coming.
No, that was like 40% of the excitement for me to go down to Street Beefs was to see Death Sentence, and he was late. Like he didn't show up till like 5
I heard he was late.
Yeah, my fight was at like 3:30, and we'd already been standing in the sun for like 4 hours. So my whole team was like, "Yeah, let's go." So we left, but I honestly wasn't sure if he was going to show up or not. But I wish I stayed because even though he lost, I heard it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him about it. Is maybe he should get in contact with probably you, because his to me his weakness is ground game. Yeah,
I did. I messaged him a little bit on Instagram and talked to him about that. I told him, look up. I mean, YouTube has so many good just tutorial videos on basic stuff to do, ground game. I talked to him about it. I told him, definitely got to work on that. Got to work on that wrestling.
Yeah, even I learned how to do a rear naked choke from YouTube.
Yeah.
I only trained a couple times with my friends, but, I learned how to do it.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the Street Beefs? How do you feel about a lot of these fighters having characters? Not like Death Sentence and this guy named Wing C. He carries the wings and things of that nature. How do you feel about that?
I mean, whatever gets you the views,
Yeah.
Whatever gets you the views. I'm not really flashy like that. I just kind of show up and want to do my thing and leave. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. Like if you have a other side of you that you want to show people, do it. Wing DC, who's gonna tell him no? I don't know. I think it's cool. Wing DC is he's a character and he's funny. He's entertaining. I met him this past Saturday, and he's a funny guy.
Yeah, it would be funny if you say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of this. And as soon as they announce you, in this corner we have Sawsall. You bring the Milwaukee Sawsall.
Yeah, so we were talking about that. Me and my training partner were joking about that. He was like, when you win by knockout, I'll crank that Sawsall in the corner. And I was like, man, I might have to ask Chris, who's the owner of that'd be okay if we can bring a Sawsall.
Yeah.
I don't know if they consider that a weapon.
So, for those people out there who don't know who you are or don't know how to reach you, like, hey man, I heard he's gonna be fighting in October. How can I reach this guy? What's your socials?
I'm pretty much Sawsall MMA on everything. So Sawsall MMA on Instagram, Sawsall MMA on Twitter. Quickest way you're gonna reach me is definitely Instagram. I check my Instagram. I'm on Instagram, whether it's Reels or whatever. I'll be on Instagram. But really, I use Instagram and Twitter.
No, not really TikTok guy, right?
No, I'm not really a fan of TikTok. I have a TikTok, but I don't really post on it much.
Wow. I really want to thank you for coming to the Support Cha Boi Podcast. And for those people out there who are wondering, hey, where can I see the other episodes? Like, whether it's Death Sentence, Wing C, whatever I have going up there, it's all on YouTube. If you guys can do me the biggest favor, which is subscribe on YouTube. I know it's the hardest thing to get people to do, but if you can, I'd really appreciate it. It allows me to push these videos, because when Sawsall's video go out, I want to make the course, the clips and videos and put them out there, you know what I mean? Any kind of support you can give me, I can keep going and keep supporting these guys. Man, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast. Anything else you want to let the world know?
Sorry, say it again.
Anything else you want to let the world know?
Oh, man. No.
That's an honest answer right there. Well, man, look, I had a great time. I want to thank you for coming to Support Cha Boi Podcast. And the fact that you said you actually come back is so dope to me because I love bringing fighters and people back on so they can get more comfortable with who they are. And we finally met this guy, and we got a chance to meet Sawsall before he blows up. So please, you know what I mean? Because you never know, bro.
Yeah,
You never know.
This is my first podcast, so I hope I did all right. But yeah, thank you.
You did. You gave trust me, you gave a really good tutorial on what the people who are newbies coming into street beefs. You help people out today.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming to the Support Cha Boi Podcast. Until next time, everybody. Peace out, man. Thank you for coming to the podcast, bro.
Thank you.
Yep.